Hello, everybody. It's Dave Neal, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor Nation News, coming to you with my co-pilot, August, right here. Oh, you want to touch that microphone? Do you want to speak lovely words to everybody? And we are going to be covering Maria going on the Chicks in the Office podcast as she discusses her fallout with Jen. Now, I tried to make this video yesterday. The Chicks in the Office podcast have like automatic content strikes that they do when people cover their content. YouTube, you're allowed to do what's called fair use, which means I'm going to play a clip, I'll give my opinion, and then I can fairly play that clip because I'm not just stealing it, I'm adding value, whether you believe it or not. Do you believe I'm adding value? Listen, isn't this enough value if I just play clips with a baby watching? Isn't that enough value? Anyhow, so I'm going to do that for you, but because of the content strikes, I have to kind of sort of talk between the clip as I'm airing it. I know it's annoying. You can go listen to the full episode. And by the way, I was flying to Rhode Island because I have a show tonight at the Rogue Island Comedy Festival, which is probably close to selling out, but if you want to come, it's at 6 p.m. in my hometown of Portsmouth, Rhode Island. Use code DAVE, all caps, to buy tickets, get a discount. But anyhow, I was watching the movie A Star is Born because it's one of my favorite movies if you watch the first half. What happens at the end? I don't know. Bruce Willis shows up. He's a ghost. Spoiler, it's the Seventh Sense. But anyhow, I was thinking Lady Gaga in A Star is Born reminds me of Maria. And, you know, people like her or don't like her. I think the people that don't like her might be threatened because she's very honest. And I don't know if our audience appreciates honesty. I do. I love authenticity. I love it if Maria claps back. I love it when Jen claps back. Doesn't mean I love mess. I just, you know, like, it's like, tell me what you're thinking. That's why I'm like, sort of annoyed when I hear like Tayshia give a PR answer, and I get why she does it, but I'm like, come on, give it to us. And then versus like a Hannah Brown who will like say something really messy and like, you know, roll tide. And you're like, Jesus. Although Hannah Brown's kind of PR trained. Caitlin Bristow's a good example. She'll tell you how she feels, whether you like it or not. Anyhow, Maria called out Jen. I think she meant it. I think she thought she was being diplomatic, but she's clearly sharing her truth. And my thought is this: the more that Jen shines, because Jen's doing great. She's on Dancing with the Stars. She's really thriving. I think the more that Jen thrives, the less Maria feels like she has to, I don't know, protect her in a way. So she's going to now start giving us her real thoughts. So let's get into it. Hold on one second. Let me move some things around here. I am in my mobile studio setup here. Oh, hold on, Bubba. So here's our first thought. Hold on. This is going to be Maria explaining the Jen situation. As I mentioned, forgive me, I will interrupt probably 2 or 3 times throughout this clip.
Of her mentioning my name, like I was getting slut shamed like no tomorrow for like 3 days straight. I say 3 days because, you know, it didn't last long until I finally put my video out there to clarify, but I was getting slut shamed. I was getting,
people were jumping to conclusions.
Oh,
really.
So this is because Jen called out Devin and said, well, you followed Maria. And what Maria's saying is she would have preferred it if Jen said, even though I know Maria never followed you back, or even though I know it's nothing, the fact that you followed her is suspect. I loved Maria, whatever. I don't blame Jen in that moment. Like, I don't blame Jen for not going in further. I'm kind of very on the fence here. I don't blame Jen for how Jen handled it, and I certainly don't blame Maria for wanting to be like, well, there was collateral damage.
Absolutely. I was getting messages like while I'm in the Bahamas, like I post a picture of the beach and they're like, where's Devin, you whore? I'm like, what the like, this is so dangerous.
And by the way, as if you would ever give him the time of day.
No, absolutely not. And like at the end of the day, like it just made me upset because I know Jen knew that, and so for her to have brought up my name, I get it. Like, you had to do it if that's how you felt in the moment, but not kind of looking out to how it was going to affect me.
So now, no, don't get sad. It's okay. Did I scare you? I gotta be very careful. So now we see the sort of conundrum, because people are saying, well, Maria wanted Jen to look out for her, but when Maria was on Call Her Daddy podcast saying, hey, I was the one they wanted, but I turned it down, that you know, threw Jen under the bus, which we know wasn't Maria's attempt. It was not like Maria was trying to throw Jen under the bus when she said, oh, it was my job till I lost it. It was Maria saying, hey, you know, like, I belong in this conversation too, which, you know, call it what you want. It's like, you know, I don't know what it is, but it's, you know, I think very very fair response for her to want to share her story. Look, I mean, what was Maria supposed to do when she went on Call Her Daddy? Lie? Was Maria supposed to, let me ask August, was Maria supposed to, hey August, pay attention, was Maria supposed to just say, oh no, they never offered me the role, Jen's, she was the number one choice, or was she supposed to say, no, like I signed on it, I was getting, I was ready to go. What she could have said was, there was several of us in the running, in the end, they went with Jenn. She could have been more PR trained if they were all on the same page.
Kind of sucked because she even mentioned that she knew the effect that it was going to have by bringing that up. So it kind of it made me sad that like you didn't really think about me in that moment, knowing that like I was innocent. Again, I have nothing to hide. I think everyone that's ever come at me online knows that. Is there more to the story? Sure. Absolutely, there's more to the story. I think everyone with the right mind would know that there's always more to the story.
Well, we have time, Maria. If there is more to the story, I've got a show called Driving with Dave. We will walk, drive, take an elevator, whatever you want. We can get down to this story. Now, of course, I have tried to get Maria on the podcast, and the producers have ghosted on me. I'm there, I'm convenient. Old Dave, when you want me to interview your client, I'm here for you. But oh boy, do they just throw you to the scraps, those psycho Bachelor people. They don't care about you. Whatever. Either way, how apropos, to use a French term, how apropos of Maria to be wearing her Halloween devil's horns as she stirs the cauldron of mess, as it were. Yeah.
But for the sake of everyone just moving on, you just got to keep things quiet. But
so that's what's great. Keep things quiet as you move it on the Chicks in the Office podcast. But I understand it's been a while. We can talk about it. Here's one more clip. Maria talks about her friendship with Jenn. So yeah, they clearly had a friendship. They clearly had a falling out. What happened? Let's listen.
Is there more to the story regarding like you and Jenn's friendship? Because we do know that you guys were close. Like you were advocating for her to be Bachelorette.
Yes.
Is there more to the story with that and why you guys are no longer friends?
I think
Jenn showed up to the episode, Maria showed up to the episode where Jenn was announced as the Bachelorette.
Me being a friend to her, I did my part. Like, regardless of like what other people want to think, like I stood by her side. We were really close in the house. I spoke how happy I was for her to be Bachelorette behind the scenes. I did the same. I was a big advocate for her to have her time. And there's a lot of times where I just like stood back and let her have her moment.
So it sounds to me, you know what it sounds to me, Augie? It sounds to me as though like Maria feels like it wasn't reciprocated. And we'll have, by the way, we have some of the craziest audience. I received an email from somebody. I'm going to show you this. I was so proud of myself. I just landed in Boston. We were on the tarmac for an hour. The baby had a dirty diaper. It rose up. You know how it rises up the thing. And we couldn't change it because we were literally stuck in our seats. And we had the longest travel day ever yesterday. Again, I'm not saying that to complain. It was just a long day. Now, from the airport to the car rental place, which was another hour, car rental was a mess. We were in the shuttle bus, whatever it is, transportation in Boston. And I opened my emails for the first time. And I have an email from somebody that says, and I'm gonna read the subject for you. It said, Dave, ways you can be more like Nick Viall. And then it said, here's why you have to listen to, and then it was just the preview. I took that and I just swiped it into my spam. Swiped it, and you know why I did that? I'm off the clock, baby. And there is a small, but vocal, but very small community of people that really don't like the way I run my business. How bizarre. So I don't have a comment section in my website where people can, you can leave your comments right here. But the point of what I'm trying to say is there are people that every video I make about Jenn, regardless of the merit, regardless of my opinion, they think I've got it out for her. It's the worst. And it's so bizarre. But I need them to know I'm not listening. I need them to know I'm not listening to, and again, this person probably left me like a 30-minute, they wrote it out, they typed it, look, if you think, oh, Dave, you're living in an echo chamber, you know what? This is the sound of my echo chamber right now. So I'm going to make my content, I'm going to give you my opinions, and people are going to appreciate those opinions, or they can go to Nick Viall and hear his, whatever the hell they want to hear.
I stand by that. People see it as different. They want to like take little things from podcasts and like make it into something that it's not. All I can say is this, like, I I think that there's always going to be more to the story, regardless. That's personal, and I think that right now we're keeping it that way, and I'm okay with that, and I respect that. But I think, yeah, of course there's more to the story.
Right.
I would like to know what is more to the story. Maybe one day we'll get this. This might be one of those stories we just put on the back burner. File this in the, we'll hear more about this later. Somebody will cross somebody and receipts will come out. And I'm not, you know what? Sometimes you say there's more to the story when there isn't. You know, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how good their friendship was. Maybe Jen left Maria a snarky message. Who knows? Who knows?
Like that, just like there's always, if you don't know the full story, there's always gonna be more.
Yeah. And it's okay for you guys to keep that between you.
Yeah. And
if need be, you talk about it later on, but right now that's between you guys.
That's
and
right.
sometimes things happen with friends, and
that's it.
You're not meant to be.
No.
You're not meant to be close anymore.
And all I'm trying to say is this, Maria. Where am I? Camera one. All I'm trying to, as if there's more cameras. All I'm trying to say is this: when the more to that story comes out, you know where to do it, on your boys' podcast. Dave Neal here on the Rush Hour. If you want to hear more about my travels, and if you want to hear more about, if you want to hear more about, other pop culture news, I got it all on the podcast. I got it all. And like, not to guilt people, but if you don't listen, will Augie ever get the braces he needs? Or the teeth he needs? You're still gummy. No, I'm kidding. But either way, we appreciate those that do listen. And when I travel, I definitely have more content over there. So check it out, The Rush Hour with Dave Neal. And everyone, have a fantastic day. I got another big interview coming out right after this, so make sure you're subscribed and all that jazz, and we'll keep on getting to the content. If I have any eyeballs left after this, boy, we love to grab things. All right, folks, have a good one. Bye.